Hello everyone, nice to meet you again. Today you study with me again. Today you study with me the new lesson. The lesson today is about adjective and adverb. Adjective and adverb. Okay, let's go and see with me. Okay, before you study in detail about adjective and adverb, you have to study the sentence below here. Okay, try to sing the appropriate word and appropriate word to complete the sentence here. Example, student listen, blah blah blah, while the lecturer is lecturing. Everest is the blah 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 mountain in the world. Third, the children are blah 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 football players. The fourth, Rolls is blah blah blah, then Land Cruiser. And the fifth is my mom is the blah 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 person in the family. Okay, now try to find to think an appropriate word to complete the sentence. So what word is suitable for the first sentence? What word is suitable for the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth? Okay, now please. Okay, look at the example here. The first sentence I can complete the word carefully. Example I can say that student listen carefully while the lecturer is lecturing. I use carefully here because the word listen is the verb. So if listen is the verb, we need adverb to describe. So only adverb that can be used to describe the verb. One more, the Everest is the highest mountain in the world. So in here I can use the superlative highest. So I can say Everest is the highest mountain in the world. I use superlative adjective because mountain is the noun. So noun need adjective to describe. Okay, one more. The children are good football players. So I use good here is an adjective because player is the noun. Football players the noun. So noun need adjective to add more meaning. Okay, one more Rolls Royce is more expensive than Land Cruiser. So I use more expensive with a comparative adjective because Rolls Royce the noun and Land Cruiser is the noun, so we use adjective to add more meaning to the noun. What is more expensive than Land Cruiser? The Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce the noun. Okay, one more. My mom is the busiest person in the family. This is I use the superlative adjective busiest because the person is the noun. So noun need adjective to describe. Okay, now let's see if you can complete the following. Okay, example I complete for you already. No need to explain. You want the first sentence, you need adverb because listen is the verb. Example. The second we need superlative adjective because the noun it describes the noun and so on and so forth. This done you already. The third, the fourth, the fifth. We use the fourth. We use comparative adjective. The fifth we use superlative adjective. Example like that. Okay, more here. Adjective and adverb are descriptive words. As you know that adjective and adverb are descriptive words. It used to describe other words. As adjective used to describe noun, adverb are used to describe verb, a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Okay, their purpose is to make the meaning of the word they describe more specific. So we use an adjective or adverb to describe a noun a verb or adjective or other adverb to be more specific, to add more meaning to those words to be specific. Okay, look here. First, we study adjective. What is adjective? Adjective describe noun or pronoun. So we use adjective to describe noun or pronoun. Noun is the name of the person, place, or things. Example here. Sophat is an honest man. So honest, the word honest is an adjective. It's used to add more meaning to the noun man. Man is the noun. So noun need adjective to describe. So as you know that descriptive word is used to add more meaning to the noun. A descriptive adjective. Adjective, the descriptive word is used to add more meaning to the noun, to be specific, to be clear. Okay, one more example. This book is interesting. So interesting is an adjective. We used to add more meaning to the noun book. What interesting is the book? So adjective here add more meaning to the noun book. Describe the noun book. Example one more. She is friendly. The word friendly is an adjective that is used to add more meaning to the pronoun she. What is she like? She is friendly. Adjective usually an adjective usually come before the word it describes. So as you know that adjective stand before noun, as in an honest man. So honest is the adjective, man is the noun. So adjective stand before noun. But it can also come after some form of a verb be. Adjective can stand after the verb be, like is, am, are, was, were, been examples, and so on and so forth. Adjective was also stand after all of these verbs. Less often, an adjective follow verbs such as feel, look, smell, sound, taste, appear, become, and seem. Example. All this because that verb or linking verb. So adjective is used stand after linking verb. Example: the backpack is expensive. So expensive is the adjective is stand after verb and add more meaning to the subject. The noun subject backpack. What is backpack? Backpack is expensive. That woman looked tired. So tired is an adjective is used to add more meaning to the noun woman. And tired stand after the verb look. That is the say linking verb, state verb, non-action verb. One more, the jeans are big. So big here is an adjective that is used to add more meaning to the noun jeans and the subject. It stands after the verb be, stand after the verb are. Okay, using an adjective to compare. As you know that adjective can be used in the to compare in a comparison, and a comparison have three forms: positive, comparative, and superlative. Okay, the foremost short adjective at er when compared to things, and est when compared three or more things. So in comparative degree we use er for short adjective, and in superlative degree we use est. Est we add est at the end of the short adjective. This in superlative degree that we use to compare three or more things or person. We add er after short adjective to compare two things for short adjective. Example: she's taller than her sister. So she's taller than her sister, but my brother is the tallest person in the house. She's taller than her sister. So taller is Uh, Tall is a short adjective, one syllable adjective. So we add er at the end, become taller. We use taller comparative because we want to compare she and her sister. And here we use tallest is the superlative. So tall is a short adjective, one syllable adjective. So in superlative we add est, become tallest. So we use superlative here because we want to compare the brother with other persons in the house. One more, the Maria is older than Jackie, but Jackie is the oldest student in the class. If we compare Maria and Jackie, Maria is older than Jackie. But if we want, we say that compare Jake with the rest student in the class. Jake is the oldest, so we use superlative degree. So here we say older because old is one syllable adjective. We add er, so become older, and this is we use est. We add est because we use in superlative degree, become oldest. So we say that Maria is older than Jackie, but Mark is the oldest student in the class. Amazon is longer than Yangtze, but Nile is the longest river in the world. So if you compare Amazon and Yangtze, Amazon is longer. But among all the rivers, only Nile is the longest river, so we use superlative degree. We use superlative degree because we want to compare all the rivers in the world. For most long adjective, two or more syllable adjective add more when compared to thing, to person, to place, and most when compared three or more things. So for long the adjective like two or more syllable adjective, we add er, we use er in comparative and most, we use more in comparative and most in superlative. Example, Monogamy is more interesting to visit for me than Sihanoukville. But Siem Reap is the most interesting to visit in Cambodia. So you compare Monogamy and Sihanoukville. So Monogamy is more interesting. It's more interesting. We use comparative and we use more here because interesting is three syllable adjective. Long adjective we use more. This we use the superlative, the most interesting, because we want to compare all the places to visit in Cambodia. Is Siem Reap is the most interesting. One more. My brother is more talkative than my mother, but my sister is the most talkative person in the house. So my brother is more talkative than my mother. So we use more talkative than because talkative is three syllable adjective, long adjective. So we use, in comparative we use more, and in comparative we use than, more talkative than. And then we use the most talkative superlative because we want to compare sister with other persons in the house. So sister is the most talkative person. Okay, one more. Bayon is more beautiful than Taprum. But Angkor Wat is the most beautiful temple in Cambodia. So we want to compare Bayon and Taprum. So Bayon is more beautiful than Taprum. More beautiful. We use more beautiful because beautiful is the long adjective, so we use more. So in comparative we use than, more beautiful than. This is use the superlative because we want to compare the Angkor Wat with all the temples in Cambodia. So Angkor Wat is the most beautiful. We use superlative. We use the most because beautiful is the long adjective. So in comparative, we use the most long adjective. Okay, point to remember about adjective. Okay, point one, be careful not to use both er, ending, and more, or both an est ending and most. So we do not use er and more together, and est, and most together like that. There's an example here. This is incorrect. We cannot say Vatai is more friendlier like that. We cannot say Vatai is more friendlier than we said. So this is use more and add er. So we cannot say like that. For the correct one, we have to say that Vatai is friendlier than we said. Okay, we add er. We use er, not er and more together like that. One more example. We cannot say Mengho is the most dirtiest boy in the class. We cannot use the most and here dirtiest est. This is double like that, most and est together. But we can say Mengho is the dirtiest boy in the class. Okay, we use dirtiest. We cannot use dirtiest and most together like that. Okay, point to one syllable adjective add er in comparative and est in superlative, as you know already. For short adjective, we use er in comparative degree, and we use est at the end, est at the end in superlative degree. Example here, there are three degree of adjective, right? Positive degree, this is comparative degree, and this is superlative degree. Yeah, like short becomes shorter, shortest, long, longer, longest, tall, taller, tallest, right? Clean, cleaner, cleanest, high, higher, highest, cheap, cheaper, cheapest. This is just some example already. Right? If you want to learn more about comparative or superlative, the list of spelling, you can go to Google and you can download the list of comparative and superlative degree of adjective. So it's just some example only. Okay, for adjective, point number 3, adjective ending in e add only rs in comparative and st in superlative. If the adjective have e at the end already, just add use only in comparative and st in superlative. Example here, nice and in already we just add or more become nicer, add st more become nicest, nicest, simple, simpler, simplest, letter, latest. Okay, fine, finer, finest, just add or, add st. Okay, strangers, law, close, closer, closest. Example. Let's move on. Point number 4. Double last consonant for one syllable adjective before adding e or est. So for short adjective that end in one syllable plus one vowel, we have to double before we add add e or est. Example like sin and only one syllable consonant n. Before n is one vowel I. So when we add er before we add er in comparative, we have to double n, become 2n, sinner 2n, sinners 2n as well. Fat, fatter, fattest, double t, okay. Okay, big, bigger, biggest, double g. Sad, sadder, saddest, hot, hotter, hottest. Okay, number 5. Adjective and in y The Y is changed to I and add ER or EST to form comparative or superlative. So remember, if the adjective that end in Y before Y is consonant, so before you add ER, we have to change Y to I first and add ER or EST. Example: practice and in Y. So before we add ER in comparative, we have to change Y to I. So Y become I. Practice become Prettiter. Prettier. Prettiest. So change Y to I and add est. One more easy, easier, easiest. Change Y to I. Change Y to I before add er or est. Dirty, dirtier, dirtiest. Friendly, friendlier, friendliest. Happy, happier, happiest. Okay, angry, angrier, angriest. So we have to change Y to I before add er in comparative and est in superlative. Point number 6. Make comparatives and superlatives with adjectives that have 2 or more syllables. So 2 or more syllables. Example: beautiful. Beautiful is 3 syllable adjective. So for long adjective, we have to use more in comparative and most in superlative, as you learned in the previous slide already. Okay, colorful, more colorful, most colorful. Exciting, more exciting, most exciting. Dangerous, more dangerous, most dangerous. Interesting, more interesting, most interesting. Expensive, more expensive, most expensive. Okay, point 7. Pay special attention to the following irregular comparative and superlative here. So every grammar point always have exception. Example like good. So the comparative are good, not gooder, but we change to be better. And superlative is best. Good, better, best. Bad become worse, worst. Little, comparative is less, superlative is least. Much, comparative is more, superlative is most. Many, in comparative become more, superlative become most. Well become better, and superlative become best. So these are all the irregular comparative, like far become farther, farthest, or far we can be also used further or furthest. Okay, look at number 2, adverb. Okay, you have learned adjective already. Adjective we use to describe a noun or a pronoun. What adverb? What are an adverb? What are adverbs? Adverbs describe verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. So adverbs are used to describe verb, adjective, or other adverb. An adverb usually end in ly. So usually you see the adverb that end in ly. Example in the sentence: Harati spoke kindly to the conscious woman. So kindly here, kindly is an adverb. Kindly, the adverb, add more meaning to the verb spoke. How does that he spoke? Spoke kindly. So kindly add more meaning to the verb spoke. Describe the verb spoke to tell the way that Rati spoke. One more. Pana is really honest and open-minded. Pana is really honest. So really here's the adverb that add more meaning that describe the adjective honest and open-minded. Honest and open-minded are adjective. So really here describe two of the adjective honest and open-minded. One more, my grandma is looking at her photo very carefully. So very here is the adverb. The adverb very here is used to add more meaning to the adverb carefully, to tell to tell the how strong the carefully adverb is very. So very is used to add more meaning to the adverb carefully. So an adverb is used to add more meaning to the adverb. Adverb is used to add more meaning to adjective. Adverb is used to add more meaning to verb. Common mistake with adjective and adverb. Perhaps the most common mistake that people make with adjectives and adverbs is to use an adjective instead of adverb after a verb. Incorrect. This is incorrect. You cannot say my mom. Tommy breathes deep like that. You cannot say Tommy breathes deep because deep is the adjective. You cannot use adjective to add more meaning to the verb breathes. We cannot also say she relaxed, comfortable. We cannot say like that because comfortable is the adjective. We cannot use adjective to add more meaning to the verb. To the verb, right? We cannot use adjective to verb like that. He ran quick. He ran quick. So quick is the adjective. We cannot use quick adjective to verb to add more meaning to the verb. Cannot be like that. They walk slow. They walked slow. They walked slow. So slow is the adjective. We cannot use walk after verb. Walk. We cannot use slow after verb walk to add more meaning to that verb. Cannot be. But we can say Tommy breathes deeply. We have to use deeply. This is the adverb because only adverb that can be used to add more meaning to the verb. We have to say she relaxed comfortably. So we have to use adverb after the verb relax. We use adverb to add more meaning to the verb relax. We have to say he ran quickly. Right? We have to use adverb quickly after the verb ran to add more meaning to the verb. One more, they walk slowly. So in this we have to use slowly the adverb to add more meaning to the verb. Okay, look at well and good. You have to remember this, well and good. Two words often confused are well and good. For example, sometimes we say when someone asks you how are you, you can say I'm good or I'm well or very well, things and like that. Sometimes we use good, sometimes we use well. But well sometimes it's adjective and sometimes it's adverb. Good is an adjective. Good is God is an adjective. It describes a noun. So as you know that adjective is used to describe noun or pronoun. Well is an adverb. It used to describe verb. Adjective or the adverb. Example like as you know that adverb is an adverb is used to describe verb, an adjective or another adverb. Example, you did a good job. You did a good job. We use good here because job is a noun. So noun we need adjective to describe to add more meaning. You did the well job. You did the well job. So well, you did the job well. So you did the job well. So use well here is the verb to add more meaning to the verb did. How you did the job. So well. Okay, one more. You smell good today. You smell good today. So we use good adjective after smell after the verb smell because smell is the linking verb to state with. So after linking verb we can use adjective not adverb. Okay, descriptive describe your odor not to show not how you smell with your nose, so followed with the adjective. So we use adjective after the state verb smell. So how you smell with your nose here, but we have to use adverb here. You smell well for someone with a cold. You smell well with you smell well for someone with a cold. So what is different between these? It means that you are actively smelling with a nose here. So follow with the adverb. So mean that although you have a cold but you still smell something. So you can use adverb. So smell is the active verb. Okay, one more. When referring to hell, use well rather than good. So like what I just told you, right? When referring to hell, we usually use well more than rather than good. Example: I do not feel well. I do not feel well. So well here, the express about the hells. Also feel is the linking verb, but still use well. You do not look well today. So well here. You do not look well here is referred to the hell. So we use well. She is not well this morning. She is not well this morning. Mostly we use well rather than good. We can also say she's not good this morning. Okay, we can also say that sentence, but mostly we use well rather than. Well is more common than good in referring to health. Okay, so thank you for your paying attention. This is the end of the lesson. So today you learn the adjective and adverb. You know what is adjective, what is adverb. You know the difference between adjective and adverb already. When to use adjective, when to use adverb. So then I would like to ask you to do some more research, especially for the spelling of the list of comparative, superlative of adjective, and comparative and superlative of adverb to learn more, because the example in my slide is not enough. It is just some example only, and I hope that you will enjoy this lesson, and I would like you to subscribe my channel in order to get more lesson from me. Okay, thank you. See you. Bye bye, all beloved students. See you.